Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figured Out Productions. The following video is a video of some kind, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and welcome to PlayLoad. This is almost all my video game pickups for the month of August 2017. The only exceptions really being the stuff I already showed you in my Missouri GameCon video, which you should check out if you want to see other cool stuff, including rare prototypes like the Nintendo PlayStation. I didn't get that, unfortunately, but it's really fucking cool. You should check out the video. But anyway, so this is all new stuff with one exception, which is this. This is Rush Rush Rally Reloaded for the Sega Dreamcast. I did an entire video on this, so I'm not really going to talk much else about it, but yes, technically you've seen this before. So moving on to things you haven't seen, not a huge haul, just a couple of stuff, just some items I got at like one store, plus a couple of mystery packages we'll open up at the end here. But basically all that happened was that at one point I had a little bit of time, I went out to a store, I was looking for OG Xbox. I decided, yes, I'm committing to an OG Xbox collection. I want to do it. It's hard, it'll be difficult, not that expensive, hopefully, but I want to do it. So when I was looking around, I found a couple titles I needed. Unfortunately, nothing really exciting, just like sports titles, but it's the rules. You're getting a full set, you gotta get the damn sports titles, so good to get them out of the way. At least they're cheap. First one up is NHL Hits 2003. Second is Triple Play 2002. College Hoops NCAA 2K17. NHL 2K7. And finally, NBA Live 2003. Like I said, honestly, nothing that great, but it's 5 titles off of the list I don't have to worry about anymore for really not much of anything. So that's nice. One thing they had that was very serendipitous was that, so a couple of weeks ago at the time I make this video, I was in San Francisco at Ubisoft's pre-Gamescom event, so I got to play things like Far Cry 5 and The Crew 2 and Assassin's Creed Origins and all this other stuff. But one of the things they had set up there was Rayman Legends Definitive Edition for the Switch, so I got to play that for a while. I thought, oh, this is pretty fun, because I never actually played it, even though the game's been out for like 4 years. I never actually played it before. And then when I got home, when I went to the store, they had the Wii U version. Now the Wii U version is, the game was actually originally developed for the Wii U, funny enough, and then it got ported to everything under the sun. But on top of that, like, it's one of the few Wii U games I don't have, or hadn't had at that point. I'm still looking to get a full Wii U set. It was just kind of funny, you know? I happened to find it right after I played the Switch version. I'm probably going to pick up the Switch version too, because it was pretty good. And it's the definitive edition, so whatever. But regardless, I have it, and it's, if you like old school platformers, like, this is pretty good. This is pretty fun, at least in the limited time I played the Switch version anyway. So yeah, Rayman Legends for the Wii U. And the other thing they had that was actually rather surprising was some boxed Genesis games, and for a pretty decent price, and not just the usual sports crap. They actually had some okay titles. First up was Animaniacs Boxed Complete. Awesome show, by the way, if you didn't ever see it as a kid. I mean, well, not, I was a kid, obviously it was, you know, around. But if you're younger than me, which you might very well be, this is a really cool show to go back and watch. It's actually really, really awesome. The game itself, I don't remember being particularly interesting. I do remember it being actually kind of frustrating, but I don't, you know, I didn't play that one a whole lot as a kid. This one I played a little bit more. Revenge of Shinobi. Obviously a classic title, and it was really cool to get. Also, of course, to see like the classic, you know, early Genesis artwork style with like the gray, you know, the black grid pattern and everything is very neat. So cool to finally have a copy of that. I think there's multiple versions of this game, one with like Spider-Man and Godzilla in it. I don't know which one I have, but I could be thinking of the wrong Shinobi game, but I think that's what this is. But anyway, moving on. The one that really excited me though, that I was really surprised to even see at all, this is Brutal Above the Claw for the Sega 32X. I actually put it in one of those like plastic clamshell cases to keep the box complete and nice and everything. So yes, this is complete. You don't see Sega 32X stuff in the wild that often. And when you do, it's typically, you know, the usual suspects like Virtual Racing and Virtua Fighter and sometimes Tough Man Contest and a couple of the others. Brutal is not one I don't think I've ever seen in the wild. Maybe at like a game swap or something like that, but not just like a random store. So that was cool to see, especially for not much money. So definitely had to pick that up for sure. So this is definitely like the jewel of these particular pickups anyway. But we are not done. We have a couple of mystery packages here. So what I always tell people is you don't have to send me stuff. You really don't. It's the truth. You don't have to send me anything. But every once in a while, people just they want to send me stuff anyway, and eventually I just give in. So thank you to the people who did this. The first one who did this is Corey Marsh. That name might sound familiar. If you listen to my podcast, he has been a backer of it really since it started, and every month he gets to pick a subject for the podcast. He's also the guy who sent me an OSSC for the purposes of review, did a video on that obviously a while back. In this case, he just contacted me. He's like, yo man, I got some stuff I want to send you. I'm going to hook you up, so I'm just sending it. And I was like, okay. So I have absolutely no idea what's in this, but let's find that out right now, shall we? Got our scissors here, and well, maybe I can just rip it now. Why bother? Let's cut it. And first of all, thank you again, Corey, for doing that. He just sent me, oh, he just straight up sent an OG Xbox game. He sent a copy of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I don't think I have this one, so thank you. I honestly don't remember off the top of my head. I know I'm missing most of the Harry Potter games, so I probably don't have it, but without verification, I can't say. But thank you very much for doing that. He also included a note that says, Adam, the game was kind of beat up when I got it, so I had it buffed out. Couldn't really do a thing about the case. Sorry about that. Enjoy, bruh. Corey. Well, yes, definitely. Thank you. The case, don't worry about it. Like, you know, I can always swap it out with a sports game case. So, thank you very much, Corey. That was really nice of you to do. You obviously did not have to do that. Thank you. Only further evidence I really should be going for the full Xbox set, right? Anyway, thank you, Corey. So now we'll move on to the other one. The other one, I actually don't know the name of the person who sent it. He's also a Patreon backer. But he didn't want to tell me his name. He wanted to go through the alias, and then he said he'll use his nickname, but it's contained inside this. So we have to dig through this together to find out his name. So let's do that. He also specifically wrote on this thing, "cut here." So that's what I'm doing. This comes from Canada, by the way. So international shipping. Let's see here. Okay, so there's some sort of card, so I don't want to cut too into it because I don't know if that'll damage something. Let's see here. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Well, first let's read the note. Okay. Hey Adam, here are 4 Famicom disc games that I mentioned I would send you. I don't remember you actually saying they were Famicom disc games. I'm also including a Laura's Second chocolate bar, hazelnut flavor. We buy these at Laura's Second chocolate stores, which are very common in Quebec and Ontario. Canadian origins, Canadian made, no Hershey crap in there. That's good. Hershey's disgusting. I hope you like it. Dare you to take a bite on camera. Maybe. I'm trying to diet, man. I'm trying to diet. Why would you do that to me? Why would you put me on the spot? Hope you get your disc system repaired. It's not very hard. Been enjoying your content since 2012. Thanks to your Dreamcast videos. Keep up the good work. The Importer. Okay, so he just wanted to be known by The Importer. Well, thank you to The Importer. But let me show you what he sent. Look at this. Okay, for some reason, the games are attached to a box of cereal. Oh, they're just taped to it. I guess that was for security. So he sent 4 games for the Famicom Disk System, which is true. I have a Famicom. If you're not familiar, a Famicom Disk System is an add-on that the Famicom, aka the Japanese NES, had that never came out here. There's a lot of games that were released just for it, and there's also a lot of games that only came out on the disk system that eventually had cartridges released in North America, but didn't have cartridges in Japan. It's weird. I do own a Famicom disk system, as he points out, and mine does not work. The reason it doesn't work is that it needs a new belt. I actually have a replacement belt. I simply lack the knowledge on how to like install it properly, so I never got around to it. So that's, you know, that's something. But here's what he included. So you have to understand that Famicom Disk System games, the whole idea behind them was they would give you these little floppy cartridges, and you could buy it once, and then you could go to a store and like delete the game and buy a new game, and it would just rewrite over the cart or the floppy disk, and then you'd have a different game. So what that essentially means is that there's no guarantee the game that's pictured on here actually is the game that's in there. That's the inherent risk with collecting stuff like Famicom disc games. There are ways to restore it. I don't have those methods, but I know they exist on the internet. People have talked about it. But let's just assume, for argument's sake, that all of these are actually what they claim to be. Here's the games that were included. Ice Hockey. Ooh, we should save that one for last. Othello. Bubble Bobble. And Castlevania. I'm not sure which Castlevania. I think that's the first one, but I could definitely be wrong. But it's definitely one of the Castlevanias. And let's take a close-up look at that chocolate bar. I've never heard of this particular brand, Laura's Second. Noisette. My French is terrible, but I know that means hazelnuts. So that's awesome. I'm really excited about that. If you guys didn't know over the years, I've kind of I have a bit of an enjoyment for foreign candy because I typically hate American stuff. The only American chocolate that isn't disgusting is Ghirardelli's. So there you go. If you're ever visiting the States and you want to try American chocolate, only eat Ghirardelli's. Don't try a Hershey bar. They're disgusting. But yeah, so I guess that's it. Thank you very much to the importer for hooking me up with the Famicom games as well as, of course, the chocolate. Thank you to Corey for hooking me up with his copy of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later.